All right, it's promptly 6 o'clock, so we can call the meeting to order. So I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to add an item to the agenda under new business.
Under new-
I would just like to have a brief discussion about some ideas
Okay,
for down to the Strawbridge Park down by the dam. Some
okay,
ideas that maybe we could see about pursuing.
sure.
And then we'll follow up when we get to that point.
Okay, so approval of the agenda with the additional item. All in favor? Aye. All right, approval of the June meeting minutes. Hannah sent those out electronically last week. I hope everybody had a chance to read them.
Just reading them quickly right now. Almost
Okay.
done.
I just had one minor adjustment.
Okay.
It's nothing important. It's just at the end where it says adjourn, it says motion carried 5-0 and out, and it should be 3-0 and out. That was it.
Good catch.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right. Moving right along to the town picnic, which is, in just a couple of weeks. I handed out a sheet with a couple of items. So we need to discuss our budget for the picnic, talk about who's available to participate, and then also if we want to take the opportunity with hopefully a large turnout to implement some kind of a survey of people in attendance to get maybe some feedback on Center Street Park and what people would like to see.
Okay.
So the first item is the budget for the event. So in terms of current finances for Parks and Rec, we currently have about $3,000 in our operating budget. We have another $3,000 that is reserved for the pollinator gardens. And then we have a $5,000 budget line item in the fiscal 22, 23 budget. So we have
And
that.
that comes in.
We have it now.
Oh, no.
Yep.
So you have 3,000 in the budget now, 3,000 for the pollinator.
3,000 for the pollinator and 5,000 in the fiscal 22, 23 operating budget. That was approved, that was voted on and approved,
Okay.
So we technically have $8,000 right now.
technically, right?
But 3,000 is earmarked for that specific use, for the pollinator.
Well, 3,000 is.
Well, yeah, in addition to the
Yeah,
8,000, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I wasn't counting that.
My
one
brain
because that one
skipped
is-
that part.
So the only thing that we're paying for right now is the porta potty
Sorry.
down there. It's $125 a month.
Okay.
That's the only thing we have on there. So I quickly put some numbers down. I wasn't, I don't really know what to expect at this event. So I put down, because I had to round things in numbers of, the packages that they're available in. So I have about 100 burgers and 100 hot dogs.
So these are individual burgers and individual hot dogs then, right?
Yes, so it's yeah.
Question, are we going to be selling, asking for a donation, or just giving away?
Just giving away.
We may want to think about more than that, because just a little church function free meal, they ran out of food.
They
And
served,
that's about what they cooked
they
up.
served almost 100 just at the church function.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of those same people are going to be the same people that are going to the
Yeah.
Pownell Valley Fair in addition to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It'll have to be like food till gone, right?
That's gonna be the most difficult part of this is estimating the food. 'Cause-
Right.
Yeah, because you don't want to bring so much that we end up with $200 worth of food that we're throwing away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, I just put some things down for hot dogs, hamburgers, condiments, refreshments, ice, and dessert. And I quickly came up with about $700 $700 based on that. And if we were to like double the burgers and double the hot dogs, then it would probably be close to $1,000. So I guess I just wanted to, get a good understanding so we're all on the same page. What do we want to spend on this event? I'm not saying.
Personally, I think doubling the hot dogs and hamburgers, is probably a good idea.
Yes.
I don't know what we can do with what we have. If we have any left over, what we could do with them, we can donate them someplace, but.
We did donate, previously we had some leftovers and we donated to the PTG for their thing. So I'm sure that we could find a place to take.
Well, any burgers and hot dogs that are left uncooked, that are
Right.
still frozen or at least refrigerated, I'm sure we could easily donate to like one of the homeless shelters.
Yeah,
And I'm sure they'll take that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, hot dogs are a lot less expensive than hamburgers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I have the right ratio or whatever, but it's not anything we have to decide right now. We can talk about it a little bit by email if we want to. I just wanted to gauge what we think our budget is. And if we're good with $1,000, then I'm happy with that. And it's not, it is free. It's not to say we couldn't put something
I
up.
was gonna say, we can put a donation bucket up and just, we might recoup some of our money, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count on it till like,
Parks and Rec donation bucket up there.
yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't, I
Along with
wanted,
our survey and some, maybe a flyer, or not a flyer, but maybe a poster board of what we might have planned and stuff like that.
yep. Just, it's a really good opportunity with a wide variety of people.
Right.
To
Yeah.
take advantage of that and get some input and what residents would like to see at the park specifically, but maybe just some other feedback about anything else that they're.
Accept feedback for other town properties for ideas.
Right.
This is 11 to 2, right?
11 to 2,
11 to 2.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. And the church picnic was 6 o'clock, one sitting. So if you've got 3 hours, people just strolling through, I would think.
Yeah, people are gonna come and go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could see more traffic, a lot more traffic.
Okay.
I know we're planning on going down there. At least my family is. I don't know how long they're planning on staying, but I'm gonna try to stay as long as I can.
I'm sure it'll depend on the weather
Yes.
and other activities that are going on as well, probably. Okay, so along with that, we need to orchestrate setup, which is Saturday morning at 9:30. Colby is going to provide 2 gas grills.
Okay.
We will bring them there, so we don't have to worry about getting them there or bringing them back. So Colby's doing that. So with the setup, it's just setting up some tables.
Do we need tables or do?
Well,
See.
just food, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe.
I was gonna say, I have 2 8-foot plastic folding tables I can
Okay.
bring down.
Okay.
So say.
I've got a couple of easy ups too if we need shade.
I'm not clear, like I know Faith Church is renting a big tent,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but I wasn't sure if like we're under the tent or I figured that maybe it should be like outside of the area where people are eating, but I wasn't quite sure. So I'll
The
get,
grills and stuff?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you don't want to have that under the tent, especially if it's hot.
yeah.
yeah, but
Funnel that heat right back down on people.
Yep, so
food on the tent and,
yes, food under the tent and, set under tables. So I think one of the other big needs that we'll have is like coolers to put the drinks in. I know that we have 2 large coolers, but I don't know if anybody else has a large cooler. Yeah,
yeah.
so we're gonna provide water
Yeah.
and either,
I have a couple of small ones.
or does anybody else have an idea on how to keep them cool, like, other than a cooler, I'm
I was
not,
gonna say, short of somebody wanting to bring down a refrigerator and running an extension cord to the firehouse or running a generator, coolers will be about what we have to do.
yeah.
I
So,
laugh, but I've seen people do it.
all right. So we have 4 big coolers and a couple little, so maybe I could ask around if anyone else has a large cooler. I think that would be enough.
Yeah.
And then for cooking, I'm sure I could get my husband to cook.
I can help cook.
And then we would need a couple of helpers, with the food. So that would be from 11 to 2. And then we also have cleanup, which is immediately following. And I talked to Pastor Jason. We need to make sure that trash, is available, but we have to have food scraps separate from recycling because of state law that food scraps have to be done separately. So we just want to make sure we have three garbage, recycling, and food scraps. So we'll get that
Do we
covered.
have 3 big garbage cans, the church?
I think the church does, so. And he was gonna check and see about disposing of the garbage too,
Okay.
so. And then between now and, the time of the event, we might need a couple of people that kind of like to do this survey. I was thinking of, we could either have a questionnaire, and people would willingly fill it out. We don't need your name or anything like that, but if they filled it out, maybe we could you could enter for a door prize if you filled it out or something, just a little
Sure.
goodie bag or, something to get
Fill out a survey, get a free hamburger.
in a free, that too. So, but we just need someone to oversee that as well, at the day of. Pastor Jason said he does have, I think a mission team is coming up, so they might be able to help. And I know a couple of select board members are gonna go to the event, so I might be able to have them help as well, in
Okay.
addition to Brian.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there.
Okay. So is there any other questions, or do you think I missed anything? And I think we could, by email.
No, I wasn't able to make any of the planning meetings for the picnic. What do we have signed up so far? Like, has anybody booked saying they'll definitely want to set up or anything?
Other activities?
Vendors, activities, anything like that? Anybody requesting a spot to set up?
So there's the cornhole tournament. It's going to
Okay.
take place, and the proceeds after you pay the winners is going to go towards next year's fireworks. That's what it's going to go
Oh,
to.
nice.
And then obviously the church is sponsoring some inflatables in the dunk tank.
Okay.
They're coordinating to bring in some larger equipment, like trucks and maybe rescue equipment, like
Okay.
touch a truck, or, you know what I mean? Like kids like.
Yeah, kid-friendly stuff. where they can
Kid-friendly.
Explore the equipment.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
The Solomon Wright Library is going to have some activities. Pownell Center Community Church is going to set up and have some kids' activities. And that's all that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
It'll be a good day.
So I think it's well-rounded, and hopefully people will have time to visit, bring the community together. So that's it.
I haven't been to any of these picnics in the past. We haven't been here for 2 years. Does anybody have any ideas what type of turnout they've had? Not the picnic, but the fair.
Usually it's been a pretty good turnout. It ebbs and flows throughout the day, but I'd say you probably end up maybe with over 1,000 people throughout the day.
Really? Wow.
Because usually you have like the tractor pulls going on down there. You have different activities. Usually they've had in the past vendors that are selling stuff.
Okay.
I think it's like, I don't think there was a call for vendors this year, like just because it's the first year with the church organizing.
Yeah, I know Jason had said he didn't want to like micromanage like who gets what spot, how much, how long, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think he just wanted some experience with the event and then maybe make it a bigger event based on feedback
Next year.
Okay.
next year. So I don't know. I think it's really tough to gauge what the participation is going to be. And I think a lot is weather dependent also. So let's pray for a nice day.
So is Jason still the contact person for people to get a hold of?
Yes, yep.
The only thing I had on the list here was Didn't Stewart's donate rolls last year for us?
They did, they donated a few things, so I was gonna reach out to Angie and, cause she's our contact
Yeah.
with Stewart's and see if they'd be willing. And then also, I think the American Legion donated ice last year.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I would see if they would.
Well, I know the hospital has been kind enough to donate all our rolls for the baseball season, and we're hoping they continue that through the soccer season.
Oh, okay.
But that, I would think that more had to do with one of our coaches works at the hospital
I
in
gotcha.
dietary, so
I
kind
gotcha.
of had an in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can put out a call to people too, if anyone wants to donate anything, but we do have the budget for it. So sometimes I think it's just nice to have an event and not,
Not try to hit people up for money.
yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
So, okay.
You know what would be great for the Valley Fair? If we could get somebody at a farm, maybe bring down some farm animals for show and tell.
Oh, I totally would.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, I really would. I brought them to like school before.
I know they reached out to somebody who used to do a petting zoo there, but I don't think they've heard back from the person.
Well, I know in the past they've had like the little miniature ponies. They've had, I think they've had goats and rabbits down there in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rabbits that I usually have.
Yeah. I think they reached out to a few folks that used to participate, but not a lot of response back.
Okay.
I think they used to ride kids on a train too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? The train?
A little,
Little, they're made out of like barrels,
Oh, yeah.
little carts.
Yeah. Each one was like painted like a different theme, like different types of animals. It was really cute. And they had just an old riding lawnmower
Yeah.
made to look like a train. It was really cute.
so, well, if anybody else wants to participate, there is still a few weeks left if someone wants to suggest something, so.
Hint, hint.
That would be pretty popular. All right, so I guess we can move on to the Hoosick Bend Trail.
Well, for the,
Sorry.
before we go, so the survey then for this,
Yep,
they want to, communicate through email then?
yeah, I thought we
Together?
could, I found a couple of different ones. So there's different ways to phrase questions and you don't want it to be too long, right? You just want
No,
to,
you want to short. If it makes it too long, people are just gonna be like, I'm not gonna bother.
so yeah, I thought we could just communicate by email
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of different samples that I saw that might be helpful.
Okay.
Okay, so Hoosick Bend Trail cleanup. So last meeting, we talked about the forestry class, went down and cleaned it up or cut the trees down.
Yep.
But there's a lot of debris. So I know Brian, you went down there.
I did. The debris is off to the side. The trails are more than accessible.
Yeah.
And I don't feel, honestly, I think it's fine to just leave the debris sitting where it is because it offers a natural, natural habitat for the rabbits and other small woodland creatures that inhabit the area. And it's no different than previous storm damage and river wash up that's accumulated along the bank.
Okay,
Did you go the whole length of the trail or just on each tree?
I went as far as they cleared the brush. So I went all the way down to where the two benches are,
Okay.
which one of them needs some attention. It looks like somebody tried to pry one apart.
Really?
Yeah, well, they're screwed together, but it was pulled apart about that far. Like, somebody put some effort into it. It's sad, but.
Because there was. a
No,
couple trees.
they did a great job clearing it down through at least that far. And I didn't go any farther because honestly, I was in flip flops and shorts after the meeting here and
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go wading through waist high weeds.
my husband cut the rest.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he went down to the back end of the trail. and
Okay.
He cut the rest. and
Okay, good.
I actually weed whacked the whole.
Thank you.
Awesome.
But I told him we should go down and take a look because it's been like a couple of weeks. It's probably all grown in again.
I don't know, as hot and dry as it's been,
Yeah, no.
I don't think it would have grown back all that much because I mowed my lawn and then it didn't rain for 2 weeks and I thought I killed my lawn.
Okay, well, ours is dead, because it's just so dry.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. So anyway, I think it's, there is still the trees there, like he said, but I don't think there's anything urgent that we need.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, I was looking at the wood, a lot of it's just swamp maple, so it's not worth the time and effort to haul out of there to even try to give it away as burning firewood for somebody. I mean, I had the idea, maybe we could do like a community bonfire down in the parking lot, like what was done 15 plus years ago, shortly after the sewage treatment plant was built. But they did that in the middle of winter, but it was still a fun activity. I don't know if either of you guys were around. I know you were obviously living in town at that time.
I wasn't.
But
Interesting. Okay. So, on the same topic, I had reached out to some people at Horwa, and they said if we have a day where we want to like trim again or do anything, that they'll put out a call for volunteers as well.
okay.
Because they definitely feel engaged with that trail. And, you know, they were partners with the Strawbridge across the street.
Yeah.
They helped with that park across the street.
Okay. I know I've had a few individuals approach me about wanting to get involved in volunteering, but they're second shifters. So they're like, well, what can we do to volunteer? And I'm like, I will get back to you.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Cool.
So the next time is the Spark Grant, the pollinator gardens. So I know that the group is still working on designing the gardens and had a few questions about the town hall, like when things would be in order to start moving ahead, because they're looking at like a September date to start doing things out there. So they still have to put the sidewalk, the concrete work, and then this is going to get paved, I guess, around the middle to end of August. So it doesn't make sense for them to do anything.
Right.
So all the work here is kind of
Out of the way.
near completion, I guess I would say.
I see I don't know if it's called the backyard or the front yard, but the bottom there got
Yeah.
rust and everything. So
Yep.
that seems to be pretty low final down there.
Yep, I wanted to go look at it after
Yeah.
to see what it looks like compared to Center Street Park, so. So anyways, that is still going along, looking at maybe having like a youth activity in September when folks come back from vacations, either like building birdhouses or something to get youth engaged in helping with the garden. So more to come on that. The RTP grant is next, and I haven't heard a peep on that. So I guess we're just waiting.
Nothing.
Nope. But I didn't expect to until August.
Okay. So
So that's still ongoing. The VORAC grant, still no update from the state on the grant agreement. I think they were trying to lay an expectation previously that you might not get anything before the end of summer. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised at that. Brian and I met with Tara and had some communication about seeing, is there anything we can be doing now? But it's kind of, we keep coming back to like a chicken and the egg scenario about with permitting and other things. So trying to move along, but again, without an executed grant agreement, without any money.
it's hard to engage somebody to drop designs when you
Yeah.
pay for it.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really apply for a permit unless you have a design.
Yeah, and you need, you should do some soil tests, but you need to hire an engineer to do some soil tests. So again, so we're kind of just in a holding pattern with that, unfortunately. But anyway, that's where that's at. Center Street Park and the Town Green, the municipal planning grant, it still says on the website, coming soon. So I actually expect it any time now to be posted there, but I was looking at what some other towns have done. Vernon, and I can't remember the other one, had a municipal planning grant for like their village green area. So I know we want it because we want help with planning the park and what should be at the park. But I think we wanted to engage the planning commission in case they wanted to include, the village designation area as well, which would be outside of the purview of Parks and Rec, really. Because this is all the way down the street is basically village designation. So until, there's some materials on it, I don't think it's worth spending the time on until we know exactly what's available and the program for the year, because it can change from year to year slightly. So hopefully at our August meeting, hopefully we'll have those materials and can start working on that. Last year, the due date was like November timeframe for the application. I think it opened in September, but the grant application was open until November. So I think we have plenty of time for that. Okay, so moving to new business.
Yes, so I had requested to add about Strawbridge picnic area. I was down there enjoying the area with my family last week.
So are you talking about across the street?
I'm talking between the dam and the river, and then down through toward the sewage treatment plant, down through that area. So that's stretching through there.
Okay.
So I was looking at the green that is at the bottom of the hill by the dam, after the bridge headed toward the dam. And all I could picture is I'm like, that would be a great area for a small picnic playground area for kids. Because families are already going down there, letting their kids play on the hill and enjoying the area. And I see families having like little picnics down there. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to put some cement picnic tables in down there, a couple of barbecue pits? And I had the thought, well, I can't take credit. My kids had the thought to turn the hill that's already there, that kids are already sliding and playing on, and actually putting a slide into the hill. So you don't have a ladder.
Oh,
They can
yeah.
just climb up the bank
Okay.
and go down a slide down to the flat part.
Yep.
So I just thought, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I will bring it up to Parks and Rec and so this is me bringing it up.
Okay.
And I just wanted to float the idea. Now, I know it's a flood zone down through there, so I don't know what, if anything, we're allowed to do.
Is this the area where there's some benches you can sit on in that area or?
There is a couple of benches up by the road.
Yes, up by the road, yeah.
So you're talking down at the bottom of the hill then?
This area through there, this is,
It flattens out, right?
yeah, it's a nice, relatively flat area down there. And so my thought process is you've got the break in the guardrail where there's the cement area that's railinged off and the wood ramp that had been built years ago out of pressure treated, still in good shape, that leads down through there. There's a little trail you can walk through that the fishermen are taking to get down to the river to fish, but the river's grown up with all kinds of like garbage trees. So I was kind of thinking, what if we cleared some of those trees out or at least topped them? So you have a view of the river and we turn that into a picnic area because we've talked in the past about making it a recreation destination. You've got access to the river already in multiple locations because you can get to the river from under the bridge.
Yeah.
Try to do something with it. And it was just, just something small. I mean, we're doing great work with the little pocket park here at Center Street. So I just thought, I'm like, well, there's a lot of young families that have moved in along 346. I mean, there's a lot of little kids that live down through there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought something like that would be
We
fun.
ran into some. Were you there with me or was somebody else there with me on the trail?
Oh, yeah,
We
with
ran
the
into
picnic,
we ran into a family
Yeah,
going down to have a picnic.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side of the trail.
Yeah, and there's, especially now that warmer weather's here, I'm seeing kids playing down through there almost every day on my way home from work and on weekends that we are in town. And so I would like to see the town try to do something with that little stretch of property. And I had the idea that might even be a decent spot for the skating rink as opposed to 346 or as opposed to
That big
the
enough?
ball
for-
field. Well, our little skating rink would fit in there.
Yeah.
However, my wife pointed out you have the hill, so that might
I
be a
was just
slipping
gonna say,
hazard.
like,
So I'm like, all
I was trying to
right.
figure out how to get there.
Yeah, so I'm like, fair point. This is why I brought it up to you, hon. So I'm like,
So
but those were the thoughts that were going through my head. And then my kids were helping. Like my daughter, my youngest, suggested she wants monkey bars because she loves to climb. And I'm like, I don't know about monkey bars. I'm like, if we do anything, it's probably going to have to be where you can't really get hurt.
So that is town property, and it
Yes.
is part of the Hoosick Bend Trail, believe it or not. That's where the Hoosick Bend Trail starts.
Yes.
So I think it's a really good idea. I guess my question would be we would have to try to come up with a way for funding for it, because those types of picnic tables, I mean, were like thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I was thinking concrete was one, they don't rot. Two,
Yes.
they're not easy to steal. And three, if the river does flood, which does happen on occasion, they shouldn't get too far.
The river comes up over that?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God.
During Irene,
Well, I'm hoping that's like.
And I've seen-
It doesn't happen in my lifetime again.
listen, I'm 43 and with the old bridge, the temporary bridge and this new bridge, I've seen the water touch the bridge. I've lost track of how many times.
Oh,
The two houses that are sitting down on Wood Road, the first one, I've seen that the house flood at least 5 times.
Wow. Okay.
And I've seen Dick Johnson's house become an island.
Okay.
His house didn't flood, but you were using a boat to get there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not funny, but wow.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it does occasionally happen. So that's why I was thinking wood picnic tables might not be the best idea.
Yeah.
See the picnic tables they got at the school, the new ones?
The new metal ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. Todd did good on
I
those.
guess those wouldn't like solve the problem of it, not.
Well, if you did a cement pad and you bolt them down to the pad so they can't be carried away,
Yeah.
those would be fine. And those are pretty heavy duty enough to where even if somebody decided to go down there and jump on them, they're not gonna go anywhere. I don't know what those cost, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring it up and
think it's a good
float the
idea.
idea, and I didn't know you two were like the grant wizards and you tend to know. So I didn't know if there was any avenues you knew to pursue where we could try to apply for grant funding.
Well, there is a recreational facilities grant program, but it's 100% match.
Okay,
That's a state one. And then there is also the VORAC grant will come up again. And then there's like the alternative to VORAC isn't like ES something grant. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if recreational facilities are part of it or if it's exclusively trail work.
okay.
You know what I mean? But I can look into it. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know when I was looking at trash bins, because I was just thinking about what that you need trash bins, like the cement trash bins or metal ones that you see around, those are like $800. So when I drive down certain streets of other areas and I see them all over the place, I'm like $800, $1,600. Like, they got $12,000 worth of trash cans right here.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how quick that adds up.
So yeah.
Yeah, because my thought was to turn that into a little picnic area, get the river corridor cleaned up there so you can have the view of the river, help improve the breeze. Open that walkway up to have better access to the river. And
Is the parking, there really isn't any parking there, so you'd have
so
to.
you have the municipal parking lot of the town.
Right.
By the town garage.
Right, the town garage, yeah.
You have along the road toward the sewage treatment facility that people already
Yes.
line up to park on.
Yeah.
Park there.
And they do the same thing pulling down in toward the dam where they line up on one side.
Okay.
So you can fit quite a few cars down through there.
Okay, yeah. I just walked down there and one time and I was like, where do you park here? Like, is there anywhere to park on that side? But there really isn't. It's really just,
So yeah, you pull one next to the railroad tracks there.
right, but it can only fit like a couple of cars. It's very small. I thought there was maybe parking further
Oh, further
down.
down?
Yeah, but I was wrong, so, okay. No, we can look into it and I'll add it to old business next month.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And then, speaking of garbage cans, we should probably talk about purchasing that for down there at the Center Street Park here.
Yeah,
Where did we land on that?
so this was before there was a change of personnel. The town was going to purchase one.
Oh, okay.
So I need to resurrect that and see
Okay.
where that landed based on, but then there was some personnel shuffling that
Okay.
occurred, so I will resurrect that. Make a note.
All right. And then before we go to next meeting date, one thing we didn't talk about for the picnic was who's gonna go and purchase the food.
I will purchase it.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
These new like pickup things where you place your order and go pick it up are like saving my life now. So I actually did this order on a website. So these
Oh,
are
okay.
like some real numbers.
Okay.
They make it far too easy now to like click, 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 reserve your time. So I don't mind doing that at all.
Okay.
And I even looked at like BJ's and one other. And actually, the prices at Walmart are just as competitive as.
We ran into that when we were shopping for youth baseball, that like the box of Big Bubba burgers, the Walmart burgers,
Yeah.
was still a better deal than going all the way to like BJ's or Costco's or any of them.
Yeah.
The prices are competitive. Yep. So, okay. Next meeting date and time. So we would be looking at August 9th. However, my job that week, I have a project due. So I didn't know if we could move it to Tuesday, the 16th instead of the 9th.
I will be out of town and unavailable that Tuesday.
Okay.
I mean, if you have a quorum, feel free to meet without me. Don't schedule around me if you can meet a quorum.
Okay. Just, I don't know that we'll have a quorum. Let's see. I guess.
So I could do the 2nd or the 23rd. Or the 9th, but you said the 9th.
23rd, I'm going to be away. So,
There's a slim.
I mean, we could attempt to do just a Zoom one on a different day of the week. If that makes scheduling any easier.
yeah, that would, when are you leaving?
We are leaving, Friday night, the 12th,
Okay. All right.
and we won't be back until the 22nd during the day.
Okay, let me just look at one other thing. Sorry.
There's a select board meeting already taking place on the 11th. And I don't think there's anything scheduled before, well, no, we're doing ours at 6 o'clock now for select board, so I was gonna say if you wanted to try to meet before that, but we'd have to meet at like 5.
Okay. My schedule was really crazy with other things too. Well, why don't we
Like I said, you know, if
just try for the 9th and if I can't swing it,
okay,
then I can reach out and
we can reschedule.
reschedule.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go with Tuesday, the 9th at 6 PM.
In person and Zoom, or do you want, okay.
All right, so Hannah, is there any public comment? All right, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.